Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. We are talking about the Nancy Guthrie home tonight and the Nancy Guthrie case. Who was reportedly inside or around the Nancy Guthrie case just days before she went disappearing and when she was abducted out of the house? Tonight, there are some brand new claims on the new question in the Nancy Guthrie case, 84-year-old missing from Tucson, Arizona. Investigators do believe that she was abducted from her home. And now there are reports of a source saying that there was a plumber who was reportedly working for Nancy about a week or so before she vanished. We have a lot to get into tonight. Happy Friday, everyone. Gather around. A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace. Smile through pain with a painted face.
Come on, y'all. Sing it.
They call me too loud, too much, too strong. But honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and love. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine.
Let's go, mother chicken.
Clutch them pearls.
Hold up, lights on, chat in the room, another late night, and another headline blooming. Coffee gone cold, but the story got heat, and one
go.
little detail keep tapping my screen. Coming in clutch, when the timeline bends, we don't just scroll, we connect loose ends. Somebody said, nah, that's probably enough, but the chat said, Justin, we're coming in clutch. Run that back, don't rush that part. Something fell wrong from the very first start. Different day, same shaky excuse, and the math ain't mathin' when we check the proof. I'm not here to play detective for fame, I'm here when the story starts changing names. One clip, one call, one post too much, and the whole room knows we're coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, yeah, the facts stay loud. Truth don't hide when we bring the crowd. Screens lit up and the chat don't sleep. We dig real deep where the stories get steep. Pearls in the chat, lights in the back. Somebody better explain why the story went flat. You can dodge one question, maybe dodge two. With the internet clock, what you said don't cue. Wait, Say that again, you said it was there, then it wasn't back then. You said you forgot, but the record got saved. Now the chat's wide awake and the room just changed.
Coming in clutch when it all gets strange, when the facts get buried and the tone starts change. We don't need drama, the truth does enough, that's why they pull up, we're coming in clutch.
Late night crew, yeah, we built this thing. One live stream turned to a whole damn ring. Members in green miles holding it down. Whole chat moving like a small town crowd. No fake hype, no lazy spin, just one more clue when we're back again. If it don't sit right, we don't let it slide. We put the detail right up on live.
Coming in clutch, say it one more time. Whole room locked on the very next line. From the first red flag to the final touch, you know where to be, we're coming in clutch.
When the screen fades out and the night gets still, somebody somewhere knows truth comes real. We'll be right here when the next facts drop. Coming in clutch and we don't just stop.
Well, hello. I'm Fred back. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is Friday, August 28th, 2026. It is currently 7:36 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour. Hello, everyone. How you doing? Good to see you all, guys. Lordy, let me tell you something. It has been it's been a long week. I'm not going to lie. I am so thankful that it is Friday. It has just certainly been a long week, and um, I have just been having trouble here on the tubes the last few days. Night before last, I went live, and people, a lot. I usually go live on pretty much every day, and when I went live, nobody could see me that I was live. People was messaging me saying, "Justin, are you going live tonight?" All of that stuff, and unless like you, I guess, like went to my page and checked, that's the only way you saw me live. Then last night, I went live. We were live about 30 minutes, and I had like 3 right in a row. Like, I guess it was coming a storm, and the electric went off like 3 times right in a row. My internet went down. I didn't get internet till about 6 o'clock this morning. And so yeah, YouTube, they just did a new update, a new TOS. So it's been a minute. So good to see everyone. I feel like I haven't been here in like 27 years. But yeah, a lot to talk about tonight, guys. Before we get started, if you would be so kind and please do me a big favor. If you would hit that thumbs up button, would greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would share this live out. I see you guys sharing these out on all social media platforms. Really do appreciate that. I truly can't do it without you guys. If you would share these lives out, hit that share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media. And if you would consider hyping this video on YouTube, you get 3 hypes a week. And if you don't use it, you lose it. They are 100% free, and it helps. It's like a algorithm booster, and we certainly need that in these times with the algorithms and all that stuff. A couple other things. There is I have a little website that I'm working on. It is pinned down there below. If you want to like sign up for emails, you'll get like I'll be sending out different things. They're absolutely free on the case, different cases that we're covering, breaking news, stuff that maybe I haven't got to go live on it yet, but you'll receive that first. Also, like, it's got all my social media platforms on there. You just click and it'll take you to any of those. Yeah, lots of stuff that will be coming up on there. So all of that good stuff. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you, Just Maggie. So good to see you, babe. How you doing? Thank you so much, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Good to see you, Miss Maggie. Very kind of you, Miss Maggie. Thank you so much, my dear, for your support. How you doing, my dear? Happy Friday to you. Miss Patty Wine, thank you for the floating heart, my dear. Good to see you, darling. How you doing? Oakley, thank you so much for the clutch, my love. Good to see you. Really do appreciate you, my friend. Jen in Georgia, 25 months. What an OG. Been ages, Jen. I adore you. Thank you so much, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Good to see you, my friend. Summer's Army, 22 mega chicken months. Love your face. I'm always watching this. I completely understand Summer's Army. Good to see you, my friend. Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see you. And thank you so much for your continued support, my dear. Oakley, thank you so much, babe. Appreciate the super sticker. How you doing, babes? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Giggles, thank you for the sparkle, my dear. How you doing? Good to see you. Lorimon, 9 months. We just had a YouTube baby together. I just signed up for your email subscription. Thank you so much, my darling. Appreciate you very, very much. Really do appreciate the continued support, Miss Lori. 9 months. What a legend. Mary B, thank you for the silver star, my dear. Appreciate you. Good to see you. How you doing? How you doing? My internet keeps cutting out. Good to see you all. Apparently it's not just me, Vintage. Apparently it's not just me. It's been a lot of people, I think, the last few days. Hey, 603, good to see you. Miss Connie, Lolo Butterflies, Vintage, Christy, Just Maggie, Dawn, Green Eyes, Pam, I see you. 3 Pugs, how you been, babe? Miss Shari, just me, everyone. Tony, hello, good to see you all. So a few things that I want to get out of the way relating to the Nancy Guthrie case, and a YouTuber, I think it's Mark, is reporting about this plumber going allegedly being in the house a week or so after, or but rather before, Nancy Guthrie went missing. And I think there's an article on it that I want to kind of cover before we get into the deeper stuff here this evening. And also Savannah, first red carpet appearance that she has been, first red carpet appearance. Do want to talk, going to kind of finish some of the things that I was doing yesterday in my live stream about the things that was leading up to Nancy going on. Also going to talk about these recent arrests in Pima County. Are they related? Do these guys know anything? It's not every day that you see, someone as violent as those mofos. But I don't know. Some people think they could be related. Some people don't. I'm kind of the belief that I don't really think they are related, in my opinion. But nonetheless, I do think you never know. A lot of these gangs are tight, right? A lot of them are tight. Thank you, Pam. Good to see you, my dear. Yes, Horsey. Yes. Yep. So let's get all into this. Let me get it pulled up here. Also, I think Chris McDonough spoke about this as well. Where's Nancy's friends? Where is Nancy's friends in all of this? Why are they continuing to be quiet? Also, I have a 360 drone footage that I want to talk about the night that all of this happened in Nancy Guthrie case. how did this guy or guys, how did they move around in this yard? And I've got this drone going around the home, and I want to take it step by step how this person may have moved through the home. Charles talked about Nancy's friends today too. Did he? I haven't got to watch him today. So yeah, okay, let's get it started, guys. First, I want to talk about this, the Nancy Guthrie mystery plumber. Now, does anyone know how, if you watch Mark, has anyone spoken? Did he talk about, where he got this information? Like, he's local. One second here. He's local, and so he's, probably talking to a lot of people. There's nothing that would surprise me, because Nancy seemed to have, of her age, apparently she had a lot of services done to her home. She wasn't able to do anything, right? So, okay. So a lot of you, but if anybody does, let me know. Mystery plumber is said to have visited her home days before the disappearance. As the Nancy Guthrie investigation approaches its 7-month mark, with no updates on her whereabouts or potential suspects, a YouTuber has been following the case that has cast suspicion on a plumber allegedly working in the area. Now, there's all kinds of people like working in her neighborhood. Remember that? But did he give a name? According to the reports, this Mark, he's been covering this extensively for the past few months. A source told him the plumber was working at Nancy's house a week before her alleged abduction. Quote, source claims one of my sources stated that a plumber was reportedly working at Nancy Guthrie's home about a week before her disappearance, end quote, he wrote on X. Could this be significant? Authorities, including the Pima County Sheriff's Department, have not confirmed any of this taking place in Nancy Guthrie's home before her alleged kidnapping. However, it is known that a masked suspect has been on her property on more than 2 different occasions. In addition to the doorbell camera footage, which shows the masked individual on Nancy's porch tampering with the camera, News Nation obtained photos of a masked man in the area days before. Which one was that? Let me see. Let me look at that. Oh, okay. This is the right here. Let me show you this one. Okay. I'll show you this. Earlier this week, social media users speculated that Arizona unaliving suspect could have been the Porch Guy. Last Friday, August 21st, the Pima County Sheriff's Department did an arrest warrant for Alex James Barnett, 33-year-old, and Carlos Ramirez. Now, I think Carlos is interesting. I do think he could be, I don't think he's Porch Guy, but I do think he could be kind of similar looking to what the Porch Guy. Don't know, Kendra. But, I was thinking when he was talking about the plumber, if you remember, I don't know, maybe a week or so ago, I was talking about another case. It's the closest case that I've ever found on Nancy Guthrie. And this happened, I want to say it was in the late 80s, maybe early 90s. It was a very wealthy family. Husband owned several businesses. He worked for the biggest bank in Mississippi at the time. And this guy came into the home and unalived her. Unalived her. Well, he had kind of this vendetta against the husband because he had worked for like a school. He had owned like a school picture business or something, and had ended up more or less downsizing the company to make it more profitable. And he drove from Florida to that. But then I was thinking about a case I was covering just the other day, and this happened last year. This man who was in, I think it was New Jersey or New Hampshire or something. He was a plumber. Do you guys remember that? He was working down in the basement, and he just showed up 6 months later, went to this woman's door. She opened the door and unalived this lady. Very, very sad. Very sad. Not home builders, but from when applying for a permit. I don't know what you mean for that. Hey, Hedgie, how you been, babe? So good to see you. You doing all right? Thank you so much, Hedgie. Good to see you, babies. Hey, Sammy, Mom. Good to see everyone. I pray to the good Lord. I did. I pray to the good Lord. What's the store? I don't know what you mean. What's the store? So good to take a break from Lindsay Clancy trial. So I am doing a live stream tomorrow night on the Lindsay Clancy trial. Well, not really on the trial. I think, just a side note here, because I just saw that comment. Some people, like some of y'all, really support Lindsay Clancy and all that because she's had like some mental health and all of that. It doesn't matter. In my opinion, it doesn't matter. You unalive 3 people, you go to prison. And why is there this outpouring of love with Nancy Clancy? And remember, I covered at length Travis Decker. He did the same thing. He was having mental issues too. He unalived his 3 daughters. He was a veteran. I got some real things to say on that. I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. So, but I do want to hear other people's thoughts on this. If you do support like Lindsay Clancy, I would love to hear from you tomorrow on that, because I think there is this hypocrisy, just to be frank with you, hypocrisy. They both unalived their 3 children. Nancy's in a wheelchair. Travis is dead. Regardless, they should both be in prison, in my opinion. So why are people giving her this break? Oh no, she should be in a hospital. You know, she fell out of a window after strangling her kids with the bungee cord. No. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Justin, it's my understanding a lot of people believe she didn't have enough time to do. Well, there's always going to be conspiracies. They are dragging this, the father of these children. Leave that man alone. He has lost everything. He's lost everything. People have strong opinions on that. I agree. You have to pay a price for your crimes. And that's the law. That's the law, right? You know, intentionally or not, you do this, you unalive 3 people, which I don't think you accidentally do this to 3 children. Come on. She belongs in prison with a lot of care paid to counseling and therapy. I think everyone needs therapy. I mean, I just do. I think everybody needs therapy, right? But I don't think she deserves any special treatment. I mean, what she did is unimaginable. Unimaginable. It wasn't a household accident. Hell no. Hell no. No. This is that video that with that,
anonymous, we should say, but says that's 3 months.
That one with
months. So a video surfacing of a man in a mask on private property is raising some surprise with a neighbor I spoke with. This neighbor who posted, so take a look, the neighbor who posted the video from last night wants to remain anonymous, we should say, but says that
this is when they stole those stupid flowers. Come on now. People steal those things all the time. Okay, so before we get into some of the videos and stuff, I do want to show you a few things here that we're going to go through. Thank you so much, Hedgie. Appreciate you, babies. I haven't watched the trial, but just being in a wheelchair in a mental institution will be like prison. I mean, listen, you know, people will say, well, nobody's going to beat I just lost her name, Clancy up like she's going to beat herself up. That's fine. I agree. Do it in prison. Do it in prison. They both should be locked up. I do not feel sorry for. I mean, I don't either. I don't either. I mean, I understand that there was, you know, different rugs and stuff backward and forward and all of that. That's not my problem. And when I say that's not my problem, I'm not saying that's not, I'm not saying that sarcastically, like that's not my problem. I'm saying that even if there was a bunch of people do, whether it's, you know, going to different doctors and getting rugs or going to the street and getting rugs and then unaliving someone, it doesn't matter if it's prescribed or not. You did it. You did it. People do street drugs every day and unalive people. People doctor shop and do this and do that every single day and unalive people. It just is what it is. It's terrible that this has happened. Absolutely terrible. PGH, how you doing, Mamacita? Good to see you, my dear. Thank you for 14 months. Justin, 14-month bro. How you doing? Justice for Nancy. Bring her home to rest. We love you too. Thank you, PGH. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you so much, PGH. Thank you very, very much for your support, my dear. You are such a gem. Thank you, lovies. I think that she knew what was going on, all of the things. She Googled points that absolutely everyone that asked her, she felt like she wanted to hurt the babies. She kept telling everyone, you mean they kept asking her, yeah, do you feel like you're going to hurt the babies? She kept saying no. Again, people can lie. Just like you can lie to your counselor, you can lie to your doctor. There's a few things, people, that you should never lie to. One is your doctor. The other one is your priest, rabbi, imam, whatever your, religious, affiliate is, I guess you could say, and authorities. You shouldn't lie to those people, right? So, and she's a nurse and she's been understanding, and she has an understanding of medications. Absolutely. 1,000%. So, I don't buy the stuff. I just don't buy it. Okay. So last night we were kind of talking about, we had just gotten into it about the days leading up to Nancy's disappearance. And I love honest patients. Yeah. You never lie to your doctor. Just be honest. That's okay, PJ. I didn't see your other message though. It took a planned and finished it. I do wonder for meds and such, but guilty. Oh, of course. I mean, I don't think anybody should take that many meds over that period of time at all. But also, I think you have to give some of them a chance to work. They don't just start working like that, right? Those babies had to look her in the eye when she betrayed them. Yes. Yeah. Just like Travis Decker. I mean, and let me tell you something. Travis Decker's ex-wife, she was very compassionate about Travis and his mental health. And he was a veteran. But still, I was like, he did it. And you still got to do the crime. You do the crime, you do the time, rather. Unbelievable. So leading up to Nancy's disappearance on January 26th, her friend Chris drops off balloons and treats. She allegedly puts this on the door. And one of my questions was with this, was this on the doorbell camera? Was Nancy not home whenever she dropped this off? Was she not home? Otherwise, why would she just drop it off in the front door? Nancy, she might. Oh, I gotta tell y'all something. You guys remember? I saw this. Let me see if I can find it. You guys remember Savannah Guthrie saying that most of the days mom could not make it to the mailbox? Who remembers that? Who remembers that? Anyone remember that? Okay. I want to show you something that I found, and I was like, are they reporting this wrong, or are we being lied to? I was like, oh my God, hold on. Let me find it here. Okay. Okay, here we go. Look at this. This is, I think it's either from Parade or, oh crap, or Ammo Mama. It's from one of the two. But look at this. Even in her 80s, she insisted on walking to the end of her gravel driveway to get the mail. This is supposedly what one of her friends said. I was like, come again? What do you mean? I thought most days she couldn't make it to the mailbox. And a lot of times, to me, there's something up here. I don't know. Because you think about Nancy supposedly not making it to the mailbox, and then you think about Savannah saying most days she couldn't make it to the mailbox, and they kept saying, no, you don't understand. My mom can't make it even to the mailbox most days. But then again, allegedly, there was rumor that they had originally said, that they thought she, might have walked out. No. You don't need a website. No. You don't need a membership with the website. No, baby. It's absolutely free. Absolutely free. Thank you so much, BGH. Appreciate you, baby. No, so many conflicting information in this case. Very much so. Very much so. Maybe she was trying to get some mobility back. Well, yeah, right. I mean, a lot of elderly people, like, that's considered their, when you're 84 years old, that's considered your exercise for the day, right? So I can see Nancy saying, well, that's going to be my exercise for today. I'm going to try to do, pick up a few things, maybe out in the yard or in the house, and I'm going to make it to the mailbox that day. The actions of the family is strange. Yes. Justin, in my opinion, she took an Uber. She must be in better condition than what Savannah said. Well, I don't feel like, I feel like Nancy pushed herself regardless. You know what I mean? But I saw this and I had to check my eyes a couple times. I was like, no. They said that Nancy couldn't make it to the mailbox most days. Hey, Terry, good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for the flower. It smells wonderful. Thank you, love. That's how I am. I have severe back problems and legal issues that my mailbox is as far as away as Nancy to the mailbox, and I try to make it part of the day. Right. Hey, Sleepy, good to see you. Thank you so much for the clutch, my friend. Appreciate you. Personally, I don't think the family tells all the truth all the time. I agree. Okay. All right, let me show you this. On January 27th was her birthday, and on the 26th, her friend Chris left a balloon and a treat on her doorstep. On the big day, Anne, who has New Orleans roots, set out Crystal and cooked shrimp and all that stuff, and she began just one evening before she vanished, Nancy had dinner. They played games with Annie and Tommaso, her son-in-law. He later drove her home. And this is the friend Anne said, I keep thinking about every time I'd go into the kitchen door and she'd be sitting there at the counter, just how her eyes would always light up as soon as she saw me, end quote. Anne said, that's when you know you have a real friend. For decades in Arizona, Nancy's embraced the outdoors, hiking, playing tennis, and spin classes. Has anyone ever heard that she did tennis or spin classes at some point? I knew she was an avid outdoor person. Right, Tony. Right, yeah. You have to, otherwise your legs get swelled up and that hurts even more. Yeah, you gotta stay moving. Yeah. In recent years, daily life had become more challenging. She had a pacemaker, relied on medication, and used a cane and powerful hearing aids. She once told Chris she no longer felt comfortable climbing the stairs at a movie theater, half jokingly called it a fire trap. Yeah. Joking about this, I guess, where the theater is, there's these steps, and I understand why you would not want to be walking on that. I have a laundry list of ailments, mental health, physical health. If God wakes me up, we are very lucky every single day if we wake up. Absolutely. I put a shower in my kitchen. You put a shower in your kitchen? Seems like that would maybe when she was more mobile. Yeah, maybe. But regardless, one thing that I was showing the other day was the 26th, the 27th, the 30th, and the 31st. Nancy is either at someone's house or someone is at her house, right? And I think that really matters. Yes, it is close to around her birthday, right? But regardless, even if it is close to around her birthday, she's not 84 years old and just sitting in a corner. And that tells me people matter to her, right? And that's where, even in her 80s, she insisted on walking to the end of her gravel driveway to get the mail. Still, former FBI senior profiler Mary Ellen O'Toole saw something different when analyzing the video, talking about the Porch Guy. Now, listen to this. Listen to this, guys. I never thought of it like this, what she said. And I don't know if it's because it had been several days since the FBI had actually contacted Google, because Sheriff Doofy didn't do anything, said sorry, they couldn't do nothing. But she says, FBI senior profiler Mary Ellen, she says, in simple terms, disconnecting the device may have preserved the final images instead of erasing them. Okay, sorry, these are two different quotes. Correct me. This was an FBI person. This is separate. So I'm sorry, Mary Ellen O'Toole did not say this. This is a FBI person over here. In simple terms, disconnecting the device may have preserved the final images instead of erasing them. Kay referred to the suspected kidnapper as a, quote, rookie, end quote, noting that the weapon appeared to be holstered incorrectly. Now, I do agree that I don't think he's a rookie, and I've told you guys my opinion on why I think he had it the way he had it. It was a right hand holster. I think the guy is left-handed, and I think he put it right there in the middle so he could reach with his left hand, right? Thank you so much, Miss Magdalena. Thank you for gifting the pearl necklace, my darlings. What are you doing? Thank you, Miss Magdalena. Really do appreciate you. If you received that pearl necklace, give our Miss Magdalena a big old thank you. Thank you so much, my dear. Guys, if you're just joining us, make sure you hit that thumbs up button or double tap that screen if you're on the mobile device. Consider becoming a member of the Pearl family. We'd love to have you. Make sure you look at our new website and join our mailing list. Giggle, I think the pew pew was only for intimidation. Yeah. And let's think about, so last night we were kind of talking about Porch Guy. There was some reporting by ABC News that they thought Porch Guy was spooked on the 11th, but he did not have the backpack. He did not have the pew pew there on the 11th. Now, was he spooked? I wish and I hope that law enforcement has more video from the 11th, or do they still just have that one thumbnail of Porch Guy standing there, right? This one right here. Did he just stand there? If he was there the 11th, he had to see that camera. Right? I showed my son the photo of where he was wearing the holster, and my son said the same thing about being able to reach it with his dominant hand. So my son tried it, and yeah, it was easy to get. Yep, Sky made it. Absolutely agree. I don't think it's anything. I think generally it's what makes the most sense in these cases. People do the thing that's the easiest, the path of least resistance, that will also still not get them caught, hopefully, right? That's what they're trying to keep from. Crack kills y'all. It certainly does. Okay. She said, he doesn't seem to manifest really strong signs of being nervous. He's not racing around, nor does he appear to be jittery. That's impressive to me, that she noted. O'Toole added, you can only get that calmness from two things. Listen to this: your personality and your experience being in situations like this before. She also pointed to adaptability. And I think that's a very good point with this lady. But I don't feel like he's done this really before. Like, not to this degree. Like, he might have robbed people in, homes and stuff, but I don't feel like he has done this before. But she does make a very interesting point nonetheless. Maybe, he was certainly there the 11th. So take a good look at the gloves the person was wearing. They were so thick, it was difficult for him to even move his hands. He was able to come up with something that allowed him to at least probably smudge the front of that lens. Nanos, yeah, and just think of that. You could have couldn't you have gotten a coin or something and just smudged that lens? Right? I could have got my lip gloss in or put it on there so you couldn't see. I still might be able to hear though. Thank you, Miss Sharon. Appreciate you. Thank you for the hiding jewel, my love. Good to see you. Thank you very much. Nanos did not hide his frustrations. People out there can get pretty ugly, and listen to this, and mean and nasty, and not have the facts. He said, quote, I tell my journalist, you guys need to be a little more responsible because that's just really nasty stuff. He emphasized that, quote, nobody has been cleared. This is old. I want to go back and show you this stuff. At Nancy's home, and individuals linked to 2 recent SWAT raids, quote, I stay in touch with them, mostly Savannah. I've not been out of touch with, not been out of touch with Tommaso or Annie. Sorry, I've not been in touch, rather. Damn, I'll read it right in a second. I've not been in touch with Tommaso or Annie too much, he said. So he says he's not really talked. So when Chris from the interview room gets that FOIA, Mr. Nanos, you're not going to be talking to him too much, are you? Thank you, Joan. Good to see you, my dear. Thank you for the gold coin. Hey, Maurice. How you doing, sugar mamas? Good to see you. You okay? How's the babies? This secluded setting provided a measure of comfort for the Porch Guy also. 1000%. Very dark. Very dark. Not a lot of cars. Nanos didn't have anything taken hardly. You mean Nancy? My lip gloss, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't see your picture. There we go, Susan. God, I hope I just didn't, my internet not go out. I will cuss, I swear. Okay, still he urged caution, quote, I understand the pundits are out there. They're going to say, well, this is Nanos. This is Nanos being quoted. I just want you to know that, right? Still, he urged caution, quote, I understand the pundits out there. They're going to say, well, he's the last one to see her alive. We understand that stuff, but my goodness, you put a mark on somebody who could be completely innocent. More important than that, he's family. This guy is truly the dumbest sheriff I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I think he's the dumbest because, like, first of all, we do, you know, he said everybody's a suspect, nobody's innocent. And then he's like, well, you know, we understand that they're the last one to see him. But you could be saying that, you know, they're involved. But he said what made that very weird for me is he said, more importantly, that they're family. So what? Family does unalives people more then a stranger is going to unalive you. And he should know that. He should know that. They are great. 2 grandsons born a week apart. That's amazing. Maurice, that's so amazing. Wouldn't trust no Nance to find my pet. Yeah. Or even my pet rock at this point. Okay. All right. Let me find this part. This is somebody who disappeared from the face of the earth, and this is Nanos talking. And now we have a camera that says, here's the person who did this. He said, adding, quote, and that's what makes me say this is a kidnapping. The motivation for this is where we get stuck, right? Is it for money? Question mark. I mean, we had the one demand where they asked for money, but is it really for money, or is it for revenge or something? Question mark. Despite all the forensic work, surveillance footage, the glove, and federal pressure, investigators remain stuck on one crucial issue. Why? In the same interview with the Daily Mail, Nanos revealed what troubles him most. And with that, the case took on a far more unsettling dimension, because if it wasn't about money, investigators might be looking into something deeply personal. Until the motive is uncovered, the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie remains not just a search for a suspect, but a search for answers. Right? Here's all of Nancy's friends. I showed this a long time ago, but I want to show you again. Why are they not speaking? Why are they not speaking on her? I bet you, if Nancy's friends went missing, you wouldn't be able to shut her up. What do you think about the random notes? I still believe, in my opinion, some of the random notes from TMZ are real. Fear, 1,000%. Yeah. Yep. Nancy deserves so much better than the sheriff. Nanos. Oh, 1,000%. Yes. Oh, okay. Oh, damn. I didn't get to show y'all that yesterday that we're going to talk about. I have not heard anybody show and talk about what I'm going to talk about next. Maybe they have, but I've not heard it. But I want to show you this beforehand. This is another one of Annie's poems. And I use that term, in my opinion, loosely. Loosely. It's called The Destroyer. Overtext, I guess that's how you say it. I stayed away. I think caressed his body. I think it was female. A large, quote, rash of warts, end quote. I love when Justin gets excited. Why are you talking about warts in a poem and thinking about a rash of warts? But was equivalent to resignation. Beautiful mind. What you do with a knife. I was a pair with the question. What is the motion of a secret? A secret doesn't move unless it's shared. If I do it all by hand, it's carving. Otherwise, it's longing. I had one by myself. That blade was a photograph of last year. All year long, I got the whole thing in one exposure. The muscles were appropriate. No one was different. I stayed all year in resignation. Beautiful knife. What can you do to... And then it's got weeping crossed out. Keeping. All year long, it was female. It was female. It was yours. Like I say, baked beans, douche, and a lawn chair. That's basically where we're at. Okay. Now, do you guys remember, obviously you do, Backpack Guy, right? And we keep talking about, what was in his backpack. What was in his backpack? Something, I just thought of something else. And we keep talking about, did he take his phone? Did he not take his phone? What did he do? There's a device or a thing that you can use that I've not heard anybody talk about. And I just now thought about this. I think they make, which I don't think his backpack is that, but these things. Does anyone know what this is? Does anyone know what this is? Sounds like a psychedelic experience to me. Yeah, I think you would have to. Maybe she'd take some shrooms or something. That's right, horsey. This is called a Faraday bag. Faraday bag, right? And how it works, it's like this bag that blocks it's layers of metal mesh, copper, and nickel fabric. It blocks field cancellation, if you will. When radio waves hit the metal, the electrons move it to cancel out the electric and magnetic fields. It's total isolation, right? Inside the bag, a device cannot send or receive data, creating a complete digital dead zone. And it blocks all cellular, 4G, 5G, phone calls, anything. It blocks Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. It also can block, right, your phone from speaking to your car, right? Which means it's not going to get any sort of GPS data as well, right? You can block it transmitting. Also, let's say you put your device in a Faraday bag and you have an older vehicle that doesn't really have, the technology that a lot of the newer vehicles does. Once you are traveling, like I say, in your car, even if your device or your vehicle's old, your phone is still going to connect Wi-Fi and or Bluetooth to all of your neighbors' internet on their devices. We call that handshaking, and that is what hangs people up a lot of times anyways, right? So some people use these Faraday bags. Some people use them for crime, obviously. Car security stops thieves from cloning or scanning keyless car fobs via relay tags. Personal privacy prevents location tracking or remote hacking of phones and laptops. They make these in all different sizes. In fact, I think they make the Faraday backpacks now as well. I'm learning a lot, Justin. Thank you. Evidence protection, used by law enforcement to keep digital evidence from being wiped remotely. Emergency prep, shields backup drives from solar flares or electronic magnet pulses. So, Faraday bags. Okay. So if your boyfriend, girlfriend puts an air tag just because he wants to know our every move, this is kind of cool. but not for criminals. Yeah. You know, it's just like anything. It can be used for good or bad, right? They probably do make waterproof ones. Justin, she was very mentally ill and she cried and reached out for help over and over again. Please don't be so hard on her. Baby, we're just going to have to agree to disagree on that. You know, it's not about being hard. It's not about being hard on her. The fact is that you can't unalive your kids, whether you are mentally with it or not. You know what I mean? We don't have to agree on everything. It's okay. There's a guy who looks like a kid on YouTube. Can't remember the name, but he will show you a real world hacker spy device you couldn't even dream of. There's a lot of that. At first, I thought one of those swimming necklace. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like the kind you like take it to the pool or whatever. I was just going to ask, at what size are those? You beat me to the punchline. Yeah, they have them in different sizes. I think they even have them like in, you can use them for your laptops and all that stuff as well. Okay, we're going to go to our friend Chris McDonough from the interview room. Our friend Chris and Karen. I want to show you, I got something I want to talk about right here before I pull something else up. The interview room. Please make sure, I'm sure most of you guys are, but if you are not, make sure you are subbed up to the interview room. Link will be provided in the description and here in the live chat as well. Sending somebody, if we let one person get away with it, then we get a bunch of, yeah, I agree with that. You know, I mean, this is the thing, right? And I agree. Just a side note for like the Lindsay Clancy, right? You could have someone say, you know, be going to other people and saying, you know, I'm asking for help, or whatever, and still, after you ask for help, you still go unalive the kids. Well, people could say, you know, I just asked my family and my doctor for help the other day, that I was asking for help. I didn't say I wanted to unalive them though, but I did ask for help. Regardless, you unalived them. You know, other people could start saying, even planning, saying, well, I asked, you know, this person for help and that person for help. Now listen, trust me, we all come to our wits' end sometimes in our life, right? All of us. Sometimes in our life, we probably feel like we're going crazy. It's human nature. And I will agree that, you know, there's a thing called postpartum depression and all that stuff. But regardless, you can't do it. And I don't think it's going to be an interesting conversation tomorrow night. It really is, because nobody gave Travis Decker that, and I don't blame them for not giving Travis Decker that. I was laughing at Chris last night because he was showing a side I'd never seen. He told that girl, you want to troll me, I troll you. Chris is a very good guy, Chris and Karen. Thank you so much. Not a bit good. How you doing, love? 10 months. What a legend. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much, babies. Thank you for always covering these cases we care about so much. Always watching from my craft studio. Nice. Love you and all the pearls. Thank you so much. Not just a bit good. Really do appreciate you. the continued support, and thank you for that very kind comment, my dear. Enjoy your crafting. Justin PDD is common. That's no excuse to not love your kids. Yeah, I mean, we all get depressed or whatever. It doesn't mean, it's one thing. I'm trying to get back on subject, guys, but it's one thing. Thank you very much, Electra. I really do appreciate that very much. Love your name. Really appreciate it. But it's one thing for her to like unalive one kid and then like snap out of it. But she looked up stuff on her computer. No. That's premeditation, if you ask me. Nope, can't do it with her. Just can't.
9:30, and she was found to be missing at about 11 o'clock Sunday morning.
Okay, so we're going with what we told you earlier. Guess what? What does that mean? Look at I love the FBI guy in the background still.
Let me get this one.
Right up here.
Have anyone else found in the house?
Listen.
We've submitted all kinds of samples for DNA, and we've gotten some back.
Hold on, let me get the closed caption here.
Let me get this one first.
DNA of anyone else found in the house?
We've submitted all kinds of samples for DNA, and we've gotten some back, but nothing to indicate any suspects.
Anybody strange in the neighborhood? I know you're looking at video, different surveillance camera, anything that we should be looking at with different cars?
I have nothing in that regard.
Have any demands been made by kidnappers?
We have all kinds of investigative leads we're working on.
Sheriff, we noticed that.
He reminds me of a carnival barker. The guy, just throw the dart at the balloon. And by the way, when I worked Vice,
some in the beginning,
we used to go to the fair, the Del Mar Fair in San Diego. And we would go in and we'd shut those booths down because they would file down the darts, so that when it hit the balloon, it just bounced off. You can never pop them. That's who he reminds me of. So it's almost like, cover the circle with the plates. You just drop like 5 plates. And he's just kind of, he's shooting from the hips, I'll guess your weight, stand over here, he's a carnival barker.
Sheriff, we noticed that the camera on the
Travis, side note, again, I'm trying not to confuse people. Travis Decker, he was
front of the house is missing. Do you believe the perpetrator purposely took the camera?
Don't know that. We're looking into that as well. Yes, sir.
He doesn't know if the camera.
Someone needs to make an AI picture of nanos, inspired nanos, I should say, as a clown.
Was taken by the perpetrator. And this is where Kash Patel beat him to the punch. And I purposely think the FBI did it, obviously, on purpose, just to poke him in the eyes by releasing those videos on Twitter.
Scene been fully processed now. We saw deputies leave around 6 o'clock.
No, I don't know if that is exactly right, because the FBI, Nanos got allegedly pissed because he put out Porch Guy's picture. Why? Why would you get pissed at something like that? You should want to know who Porch Guy is, right? Like, the public helps solve the case. It's horrible. It only took a week. No thanks. He is also called Mumbles by CM Mumbles.
Last night, we didn't see tape go up. An Amazon driver was able to walk right up to the door. Is that pretty standard?
Barney Crook.
The scene is done. We're done with the residents. If we need to go back to get, maybe we want to do something with some other piece of evidence there, we contact the family and let them know. But
that's his. That's another new nickname, the Carney Crook. Nano said, "Yeah, we've got the pictures and put it out immediately," or something like that. Hold on.
Sure, upon
I have nothing in that regard. We've submitted all.
May I have anyone else found in the house?
We've submitted all kinds of samples for DNA, and we've gotten some back, but nothing to indicate.
Now, okay, I'm going to make another point there. You know how I have spoken forever now. We're at 7 months of Nancy Guthrie being missing. They have to have, he just said there while he was standing beside the FBI that they had already got some samples back. You know that they've got everything that they're going to get back as far as DNA back. This was in the very, very beginning. They had already gotten some of the samples back. Now, 7 months later, you got all you're going to get. Now, that doesn't mean genealogy, right? Genealogy is a whole different thing. Right? She said she was in psychosis, but she remembers unlocking them. I have had this happen. I remember nothing each time it happens. Yeah. Yeah. College, no carnival, Christmas vacation. Let me
Any suspects?
Anybody strange in the neighborhood? I know you're looking at video, different surveillance camera, anything that we should be looking at with
Listen
different
to
cars.
I have nothing in that regard.
Have any demands been made by kidnappers?
We have all kinds of investigative leads we're working on.
Sheriff, we noticed that.
Okay, let me fast forward it to the next stamp.
That warrant's expired. Stances. We'll go
right here.
Just think power of attorney. Just nobody else owns it that we're aware.
1 second.
The only person to give consent, judge.
To go back to get
tape go up,
looking into that as well.
Believe the perpetrator purposely took the camera?
Don't know that. We're looking into.
Did the perpetrator purposely take the camera? Thank you so much. That's funny. Here we go. I'll upload that in just a second, Kelson. I'll show that. Did the perpetrator purposely take the camera? Okay, let's think about that. He's either not answering that because he doesn't want to, or they actually don't have any more, or didn't have any more video, at least at that time, where they have this perpetrator taking off the camera. Right? Like if they had video of this guy taking off the camera and putting it in his backpack or wherever he did with it, it's not what else would he do with it? It's not at the house, Thanos. Come on now. I didn't know a family member couldn't give consent to a search. I didn't know a family member couldn't give consent to search a family member's house. Does camera have audio too? Oh yeah, they absolutely do, Crystal. 1,000%. Now her Ring camera was older, but they still had audio. A lot of them nowadays, when you walk up to them, it says you are being recorded or whatever as well. That would be a slip up on Perp's part. Yeah. Okay, listen to
that
this.
as well.
Has that scene been fully processed?
Even the Brian Enton figured that piece out.
Now we saw deputies leave around 6 o'clock last night. We didn't see tape go up. An Amazon driver was able to walk right up to the door. Is that pretty standard for how you handle this?
The scene is done. We're done with the residents. If we need to go back to get, maybe we want to do something with some other piece of evidence there, we contact the family and let them know. But we've turned that over to the family.
Okay, this is how naive this guy is about the law.
Dumb.
Number one, the family, unless they have a power of attorney, has no standing in that home.
That's true. Is that what you were talking about, Ginger? Is that what you meant? Oh, look here, guys. Yep, there we go. There's Doofy. Dummy.
Ask any judge. That means you can't give consent to go search that home.
Oh, you said
a defense attorney will have a field day with this.
Yes, they are.
The only person who can give consent, because they're searching for her, is Nancy Guthrie to search her own home. She's the only one. She owns it. Nobody else owns it that we're aware of.
This one's funny.
Or that has, power of attorney to say, yes, you can go search my mom's house because I have power of attorney and I'm going to let you go search the house. So if they're searching that house, just thinking, as he's saying, well, we'll just go ask the family and we'll go do it again. But they had a warrant the first time. That warrant's expired. And that warrant was probably obtained under what they call exigent circumstances. So as a result of that, then they just can't say, yeah, go search that house. So if a family member has power of attorney, that's different. But then they have to show standing within that home. Because that's the burden under the law.
I don't have the time, but it was sometime yesterday, I believe.
See, I mean, he's dodging that time question again.
Yeah, always doing
No, ma'am.
Around the house.
No.
Was there any
Could you please take us through the timeline that you've established of the events so far and
9:45, 9:30, 9:45, we were told she was left at her home.
Guys, we have a snake oil salesman right there. There he is, snake oil salesman with the seal in the back. Chris Nanos, Miracle Solutions, Disappearances, ? Bad evidence, cover-ups, I can help for a price. That's him. That's Nanos.
By the family.
Goofy.
At 11 o'clock in the morning, the family got notice from somebody at church that she was not at church. They went to the home, found her to be missing. That's the timeline.
Yeah.
From Saturday night, 9:45, we'll say, to Sunday morning, 11 o'clock.
Have you been?
Let me get somebody back here, please.
And he said it again, Sunday morning, 11 in the morning. He said it again. Everybody listen to that again.
I'm laughing.
Somebody back here, please.
And he said it.
From somebody at church that she was not at church. Clock 39:45.
Was there could you please take us through the timeline
I gotta listen
that
to
you've
this.
established of the events so far and with as much detail?
9:45, 9:30, 9:45. We were told she was left at her home by the family. At 11 o'clock.
We were told. He says we were told. Not that. Again, not that we know this. We were told this. There's a difference in the timeline and an account of someone, Sheriff Nanos. Big difference, right? What someone tells you doesn't mean that's the truth. Did you find out that it was actually 9:45, not just told that? Dum-dum.
In the morning, the family got notice from somebody at church that she was not at church. They went to the home, found her to be missing. That's the timeline. From Saturday night, 9:45, we'll say, to Sunday morning, 11 o'clock.
Have you been?
Let me get somebody back here, please.
And he said it again, Sunday morning, 11 in the morning. He said it again.
He's an attorney, Giggle.
Everybody listen to that again. So 11 a.m. is when the family got there. I'm going with that. He said it again.
Okay.
Again in the morning. He said it again. Everybody listen to that again.
Listen.
So 11 a.m. is when the family got there. I'm going with that. He said it again. So that means there's a 56-minute gap in this conversation. You can do a lot with 56 minutes.
Yes.
Interviewed the people that reported her missing, the people from the
That's the family. Oh, from the church as well. We're doing all kinds of interviews. Yes, I'm sure we have.
And allegedly, they were kind of canvassing the neighborhood. Again, why were you going to canvass this neighborhood if you say that she can barely make it to the mailbox?
Been able to access the footage from the cameras at the house?
That's all been submitted, and we're doing our best with those companies who own those cameras or built those cameras.
I think he, in my opinion, changed it because people were really questioning, just like they were questioning Annie or A&T about, you know, them being the last ones to see and all this. And you went from 56 minutes, because people's like, why did it take you 56 minutes to call? To, you know, it just took them, 8 minutes to call. Remember, everyone, he said, is nobody's been cleared. And then he's like, you guys should be ashamed because they're cleared.
So my question is going to be, when he goes to show us the timeline, why that 56-minute gap exists.
Exactly.
Because he knows it's 11. He knows it's 11.
To release those videos from the cameras, from the surveillance. Is there any plans to release the video from the cameras, surveillance footage?
We don't even have them yet, so no, not at this time. This is an active investigation.
There's a report of a suspicious man a few doors down last week. Is that anything that you guys are aware of?
I'm not aware of it. My detectives may be. There's a lot of detective work being done, and I just can't get into those weeds or even discuss with you what they may not have learned. Yes, ma'am.
Report from the board yesterday. Are there specific resources that maybe the board has not granted that would have made a difference responding to this case?
Well,
absolutely.
That's getting into my own local politics. I apologize. Yes, the board.
Absolutely. It's you kind of want to know, like, okay, let's think about this. Let's think about this for a second. I just thought of this. By the way, A&T are supposed to be back in Arizona right now, allegedly. But second of all, Annie and Tommaso showed up at the house, right? Well, no, it was on a Sunday. Never mind. I was going to say, well, why was he not at work or something? But it was Sunday, so I guess they probably don't work on a Sunday. So my point's thrown out. Never mind on that one. Unfit to be wearing the badge. I agree.
Go denied a request for more cameras, more drones, more AI capabilities with our own body-worn cameras. All those things, that you'd have to talk to the board. I'm not probably not the right time to go into this. Let me get somebody else here. Yes.
Do you believe she's still in this area?
Do we believe
she's still in this area, or is there somewhere else?
We don't know where she is. So we're like any investigation. You start from the point of where we last saw her, and we work out, and we're working as far out as.
You notice he said where we.
Chris took it out of my mouth. Where we last saw her. Let Chris finish this point. Where we last saw her. Where did you last see her? Well, you probably last saw her, I don't know, in a taxi or whatever, the Uber.
Last saw her, i.e., where the last person who saw her and working out. That's what that means.
So we can go.
If they didn't mean that, then they need to go back to school.
Sheriff, can you walk?
They can come to one of my classes through the Cold Case Foundation. I'll help them.
Sheriff,
the evidence found forced entry at the house, like any broken windows or whatever. Does it seem like people just went in and out?
There are concerns at the house that concerned us from the early on part of this investigation, and that's all I will tell you.
See, he didn't even answer the question. She asked specifically, are there broken windows?
You can
basically, the press wants to know, how'd they get in? How'd the suspect get in? Or for that matter, how'd the family get in?
Hell yes.
And he keeps dodging that question.
Yeah. Again, there's no point of entry that we know exactly how they originally got in. And to me, again, this guy is not picking those locks. He's not picking the deadbolt and the lock below it, the doorknob lock. No. I sanded the nut one script from there. Nanos wanted his 15 minutes of fame. He wanted his...
And there's a reason for that. Because that's obviously a red flag for them somewhere in this investigative narrative.
Yes.
Somewhere in this problem, they feel, and when Savannah said on, Dateline, well, the doors were propped open.
It's not because she left.
What does that mean? And the sheriff is trying to stay around that because the only other explanation for that to be even logical would be the narrative that mom leaves her doors open at night.
Deborah,
but she locks everything else. But she just happened this night.
Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate you very much. Thank you for the treat, my dear. Exactly. You guys know as well as I do, Nancy did not keep her doors unlocked at all. You are lost your mind if you think Nancy kept these doors unlocked. She was a person that safety was very big to her. Not only did she have cameras and deadbolts and all of this, she's 84 years old and lives alone in her home. You're just not going to be able to convince me that she left her doors unlocked. The great Peter, Hyatt, and Chris on the same of the last person who saw Nancy. Absolutely. I really want to know why Savannah said, "I will not hide my face." That made my eyes pop out of my head. You ever think that they will find her? I hope, but I think that there will eventually be an arrest. Yes, I can see someone locking the front door and maybe the back door unlocked, plus with a wall in the back. I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Thank you, butterflies, for the floating heart. Appreciate you, babies. You lovies. You guys are sweet. What else could that mean? It is odd that they thought they could afford that house on their income. I don't think... Who do you mean? A&T? But why is in my opinion, I haven't got time out. Why? Here's why. You haven't got timed out, honey. You haven't got timed out. A lot of people seem to think that she's not in, that she's in Mexico rather, and that the case, she's gone so deep in Mexico they'll never find her. I don't think she's in Mexico. I think she's very close. Very close. I don't know why they think they would be timed out. YouTube and stuff is... They just did a new update and a new algorithm. So
to leave her door
very
open.
Wonky, trust me.
To fit the narrative of, well, it's a medical event, maybe then.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Is there any history with Nancy needing police at her place or concerns where she was worried about somebody following or?
You know, our investigative team has looked into all of those things, and that has not been brought to my attention. So
has Nancy, and again, it's very easy. You can FOIA any address and see the history of emergency services that has been to that house. Any address. It's not a big deal. So they know if emergency services have ever been at that house. And he's like, well, that's not really anything. So you're saying emergency didn't come there that night, right? Yeah, Kelly. I talked to her yesterday. I talked to Dav just about every day. Nancy had, we're going to do something together pretty soon, actually, I'm pretty sure. Nancy had a bold security door in the front. Why would she leave her back door open tonight? Yeah, I don't think so at all.
She may have had something like that, but I'm not aware of it.
What is the extent of collaboration with the federal government? Obviously, FBI is here, CBP. Are there other agencies also involved?
You know, the hands out to the side, you know, FBI, look at the FBI agent looking at him like, yeah, what is the cooperation there, Sheriff?
You know, again, like on the way it looks, right? Just her selling jewelry and doing poetry, and him, you know, like being a teacher. It doesn't look like, you know, they could afford 3 properties, but you know, you just don't know someone's financial situation either. To me, I totally agree with what you're saying. I totally agree, but you know, sometimes they might be into, you know, they might have bought Tesla stock when it was, you know, this big, or Apple stock, or, you know, you just never know. But you know, having 3 homes, buying 2 within 2 weeks, that seems like it would be a lot.
Sheriff?
Because I mean, you either finance a house or you pay cash for it, and most people can't pay cash for a home, right? Maybe it comes from family in Italy with money, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, never mind. I'm not even going to do that.
CBP's role in this was in our search and rescue mission, where
he doesn't even answer the question. He doesn't turn, you know, to John back there, the FBI agent, and say, you know, are you guys on board with us?
Constantly use them. They have great dogs too. Our dog.
See, he doesn't answer the question. Now he's going to give us these, you know, can I have the scramble
ducking
with a side of potatoes and throw in some bacon?
Aren't tracking dogs for this. Theirs are, and so they came out and did that. Anybody else though that we've asked for help from, whether it's the FBI, I know if we needed help from CBP or DEA or ATF, they would gladly give it. I've heard from leadership from.
See, he was asked a question about the FBI, and he lumps in all these other federal agencies. I mean, this guy's a piece of work there, Pima County. You're going to get more of this, by the way. You're going to get more of this.
All sorts of agencies, not just at the federal level, but across the state. Every one of them saying, Sheriff, you need anything, we're here.
So you obviously said investigators, when they got on scene, they found suspicious circumstances.
Hey,
when
Brittany.
the family called originally to
Listen.
report her missing, did they say anything about the state of the home?
I don't know that. I don't know.
You don't know that? Now, listen.
When the family.
When the family, hold on.
So you obviously said investigators, when they got on scene, they found.
You obviously said investigators, when they got on scene,
Suspicious circumstances.
they found suspicious circumstances.
When the family called
originally,
to report her missing, did they say anything about the state of the home?
Did they say anything about the state of the home? Now, I don't know about you. But if I got to my 84-year-old mother's home and she didn't show up to where she was going to show up, and I found everything of hers still at the house, her phone, her hearing aids, her watch down at the foot of the bed, the doors open, camera gone, lights taken, blood on the porch, I would immediately think that would be suspicious. I don't know about you, but I certainly would think that would be suspicious. Even half of those things, I would think that would be suspicious. Yes, if she was home, if the home was in shambles, why would they search neighborhood? Well, the home really wasn't in shambles. I'm going to try, I'm trying to be really fair there. The home was not in shambles, but there was clearly, Nano says things were out of place, right? Even Savannah says, back doors. She says doors. From what I understand, it was a door that was open. Blood on the front porch, camera gone, light taken from the back. If they immediately got there and saw something was suspicious just by viewing, because the family saw the exact same thing what the police saw, right? Love you, Quincy. I think it was the screen door and a main door. That could be, you could be right there, Ginger. I think that makes sense. That makes sense. I don't think it was two different door openings. I think it was like the door and the screen door behind it. Same entry, two different doors. I've called my sister before just because neither of my parents answered their phone and I was freaked out. 1000%. I would have called and my siblings and been like, hey, have you talked to mom? I dropped her, Tommaso dropped her off last night. She was supposed to be at church this morning. Now I'm on my way over there right now. She's not answering my calls. She didn't show up for church. Is anything going on? Nope.
I don't know that. I don't know.
How does he not know that?
Exactly.
How's he not know that? What he should have said is, yes, we've spoken with the family, but we're not going to discuss that.
I agree, Ginger. Yeah, my brother's the first one I'm calling. That's just me. I'm calling my siblings before I call 911, right? Because on the way over there, or maybe even before I get in the car, I'm calling to say, because most 99.99% of the time, nothing is wrong. They don't have their phone, or there could be, an accident, or, that's not deathly. And it's just, you're not getting in communication. So maybe even before I got in the car, I'm calling my siblings. Certainly on the way there, I'm calling them. Savannah also said as soon as Annie called, she didn't say hello. How are you? What are you doing? What her first words are out of mouth was is everything okay? That's interesting, Sky Maiden. Yeah, but sometimes, I really try to be fair, because I don't think Savannah has anything to do with it or Cameron at all. I don't know who does, but also there's sometimes someone's voice and something's wrong as well. They don't even have to say anything. You just know their voice or their tone or they're crying. My mother lived 400 miles away from me. I called her every evening, and when she wouldn't answer my calls, I would contact my two sisters and one brother to see if they knew where she was, right? Think about this. If you are the caregiver to Nancy, right? If you are, the caregiver, she's pretty allegedly immobile and all of that. Aren't you going to call her that in the morning? And be like, hey mom, everything okay? You getting ready to go to church or whatever? I don't think that Nancy was, I do think she was her health was bad and all of that. But I think that they are kind of overplaying a little bit on how she was. Good point, Justin. I wonder if Annie's cell phone showed that she attempted to call Nancy. I would have tried my mom cell several times on the way over to check her house. 1000%. She might have been afraid Savannah would freak out on her and be upset. I don't know. Possibly. I hate that she lived alone, but I know sometimes hate to giving up the independence. Absolutely. Even when my dad was dying of cancer, he refused living with any of us. Yeah, nobody wants to give up their independence of living, alone.
Critical to the investigation at this point. Now, I don't want to compromise the investigation. You can understand that.
Let me hang on. Let me make sure I'm getting some different people here. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so there was blood that was found inside the house and you're testing it for DNA. How much blood and where was it?
I'm not saying there's blood inside that house or outside that house. What I'm saying is our team...
Why doesn't he?
Right. Why not?
All he has to do is say, yeah, there's blood on the porch. We're testing it. We don't know whose it belongs to, but we have, it's out to the lab.
Process the scene like you would.
What's wrong with saying there's blood in the house? Right? If we know there's blood on the outside, there's blood on the inside. Doesn't matter. It is what it is. That's not going to change the case. I wouldn't have even wanted to call the police right away to cause any inconvenience to them if it was a false alarm. People aren't thinking the worst. I don't know. I mean, to me, if your mom is as as steady as the sun coming up in the east, just like an alarm clock, very stable behavior, and she doesn't show up the next day when she was clearly telling everyone that they do this every week, and friends are not getting a hold of her, and then friends get a hold of the family, and then you're not getting a hold of her, and then if you called the siblings and they don't know what's going on, and you show up and you had just dropped her off 10, 11, 12 hours before, everything was fine, back doors are open, everything is still at the house. There's certain things when you leave you take with you, right? Your car's still there, your phone, an 84-year-old, she's got to have her hearing aids. Blood at the door, camera taken, lights broken. I'm thinking the worst at that point, right? Now, if I got there and doors wasn't open, ring doorbells wasn't taken, light wasn't busted, blood wasn't on the porch, her watch wasn't at the foot of her bed, and her hearing aids were gone, and her phone was gone, and all of that stuff, I would still be very concerned, but I wouldn't be as concerned, right? So to me, that's the difference in that.
Think of any crime scene. We go in and we process it. We look for things like that: blood, DNA, any kind of physical evidence, fingerprints, anything, and all of that is gathered and submitted to a lab. That lab will report back to us what they find. So from that lab is nothing that would tell us this is who did this.
We'll take a couple more questions and then the sheriff's got to go.
Sheriff, can you walk through the evidence that was found at the scene in as much detail as possible?
No, I cannot.
What is the bottleneck to the surveillance footage? I know you said some of it is in the cloud, but you've also been reached out to tech companies that are saying they're cooperating. Why do you not have the surveillance footage?
That's what I tell them. How come I don't have this? Where's my evidence? It is a process.
Because it's not your case. And this is why this whole thing is screwed up. Right here. This is the reason.
It's going to be hard to FOIA that stuff because they've denied a lot of FOIAs on this because they're citing an open investigation. However, they're going to have to piss or get off the pot eventually. I think that we may have to end up like getting an attorney or something to really fight those FOIAs. I mean, we can fight them on it, but I'm so I don't even think. I think we're on. Oh yeah, we are smiling. He thinks it's a joke. He should never have been on this case. I agree. Yeah.
This can you imagine working for this guy?
No.
As a line investigator, this guy telling you, leaning over your shoulder, saying, "What are you doing?" What do you mean? What am I doing? I don't lean over your shoulder. No wonder he has a vote of no confidence.
What, 99%?
I'm sorry, but we're grateful that there's large corporations and companies who have bent over backwards to help us, to say, "Hey, Sheriff, tell us what you need." And so, yeah, I can't slam them. And we've asked them. They know the urgency here, but I'm like you. What do
he
you
is
mean I
so
don't know that
two-faced.
now? Yeah,
he's so two-faced.
Does it surprise anybody that we're 7 months down the road with this kind of performance?
Yeah.
7 months ago?
And not a bit. And I don't think that this guy is smart, intelligent in any way. I think he is incredibly lucky that he got Sheriff Doofy. I think that's what it is.
If you go watch my first couple of videos we did, we saw this coming.
Earlier, you were asked if there
Last
were
question.
You were asked if there was any.
I mean, again, the FBI went in there after they cleared the house, and they went in there and got the hair. And probably, Lord knows what else they got and tested. Not only that, they are the ones that got the video. We wouldn't have the damn video. Sheriff Doofy already said we can't get it. She didn't have any sort of subscription. Well, the FBI said, oh, well, we're going to see what they can do. And they got it. So I think we would even be farther behind if the FBI hadn't have been there.
Ransom, and you didn't say no. You said we're following all leads. Does that mean a ransom has come in?
We're following all leads we have. That's all I can tell you. We've got hundreds of leads, and it's from you.
Why can't you say, we've got some ransom letters and we're checking the status to see if they are legit right now? What's wrong with that? Don't forget what which we're going to go to in just a second. Don't forget what allegedly Sheriff Nano said when he first became the sheriff. And that was allegedly, "I'm going to micromanage the fuck out of this."
He's talking about.
But in these aspects, when it's real accountability, He's like, I've got good people working on it. I'm sure they'll find answers. Okay.
About a ransom, and he's now talking about hundreds of leads.
That produce those leads by telling people we need help, and I'm grateful for that. But I'm not going to get into all that. We have a team designated to deal with all of our leads.
Razzle dazzle.
They're looking into all of that. We are sharing all of our leads with the FBI. They are helping.
No, he's not. Look at did you see the FBI agent shift?
Let me see.
They're helping.
No, he's not.
We are sharing all.
Razzle dazzle.
Watch this.
They're looking into all of that. We are sharing all of our leads with the FBI. They are helping.
You don't need to say you're sharing all the leads with the FBI if you're actually fucking sharing all your leads with the FBI, doofy. Do you see the guy behind the FBI behind him?
That we are sharing
and what's the reporting been the entire time? That in some cases it took up to 3 weeks to share some things.
All of our leads with the FBI. They are helping.
No, he's not. Look at did you see the FBI agent shift when he turned towards him? They're not sharing their leads with the FBI. Are you kidding me?
Us in evaluating those leads, how good they are, where that priority should be, and so we're just look. I know you guys are doing your job and you're doing it.
He should have not been anything. Period. Exactly, Don. In fact, it would have been best, in my opinion, if his mom would have got her period rather than him.
Great job. But we have a job to do too, and I really need to back away from this for a while, and we'll see you unless something breaks. We'll see you Thursday morning. PIO will give you a time frame. I'm guessing somewhere around 11:30. But
That's it.
He's so dumb. A lot of cards are missing in the deck. Yeah. Okay. I want to show you this now. We're going to go to Banfield. And Nancy Guthrie case falling apart. Sheriff ex-boss reveals what's going wrong. Okay? Guys, if y'all are just joining us, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button or double tap that screen if you're on the mobile feed. Greatly appreciate all of you guys being here.
A thing or two to say about why we are where we are. And that is what seems to be stymied in this investigation. And it comes from the top. It's the fact that people aren't allowed to do their jobs and are being hammered down every time they try. And so if they're being knocked up against a brick wall every time they try to get through to the other side of the investigation, well, how long is it going to take us to get through or over that wall? Really good answers from Rick Castigar, a long-ranging conversation, including his theory about what may have happened, what happened early on, and whether we're ever going to get answers in this case. Here's our conversation. Rick, thanks so much for being on Drop Dead Serious.
It's my pleasure.
Let's jump right in. One of the most recent headlines in the Nancy Guthrie case is that Sheriff Nanos decided to post the ransom notes, the first two ransom notes that came in, post them publicly. And I guess, unfortunately, for the Sheriff's Department, they were posted publicly, unredacted, before the folly of their ways had been recognized and they pulled it back. But it was too late. Online sleuths caught it. They were able to track down the Bitcoin wallet that was the redacted part. And they were able to see the transaction that I'm only guessing the FBI had made, the tickling of the wire, so to speak, but also a public comment, quote, "We are ready to pay, contact us." That seems like a colossal mistake, but I'm wondering if in the common work of the Sheriff's Department every day, if this is a regular mistake with just big consequences because it's so high profile, or how do you see it?
Well, I certainly see it.
I mean, yeah, he is. Pima County was a lot more safe, in my opinion, when he was the boss versus, the snake oil clown salesman, right? But if you think about it, it's because he's not a public speaker. They have a personal relationship speaker that's supposed to be speaking. Yeah. When Sheriff Nanos, he said in one of the interviews that he said, we're not going to do any more press conferences unless, actually it was one we just listened to, unless there is something big that happens or whatever. And then like the next day or the day after, they have a press conference, and I went live. I was like, guys, Sheriff Nanos said, he's not going to come live unless something big happens, like something must be breaking. He said the same exact thing. No, Rutui, tell me. What's the name of the comedy that the sheriff with George Reno 911? Actually, I have a picture of Sheriff Doopy doing I call it Pima 911 that I've shown. I don't know if I got it here, but we call it Pima 911. He's got the short shorts on. Max Italy couple, thank you, baby. Thank you for the flow state. Really do appreciate the support, my dear. How you doing? Thank you so much, my loves. But he considered himself good people, so his good people, I wonder how good they are. Well, I mean, if you're in homicide and never solved a homicide, and you're the head of homicide, that's a problem.
Is a significant mistake, and it continues to amaze me with the number of mistakes this case has generated coming from the Pima County Sheriff's Department. And I attribute this to the leadership of the organization. I've known and worked with Chris Nanos, the sheriff, for over 3 decades. I've seen him micromanage things to the point of creating problems on investigations. His history, interestingly enough, is really just focused on investigations. He's been there for nearly 40 years, and all he's done his entire career has been investigations, and he has a myopic scope of what a police department should run, how it should run, and what it's like. And he involves himself in minutia, and he's he's got people to the point where they're afraid to do what they know best to do, because they could be, there may be repercussions. So crazy. It troubles me that this Bitcoin address was released. It creates problems for not just the Guthrie family, who now could have an onslaught.
Yeah. I mean, his office is so incompetent that they didn't even redact the ransom letters. They showed the Bitcoin and everything else. Like, that incompetent. It was a few days ago. This security guy was like 857. Do you have it, Rajui? Didn't FBI refuse to take over the case the other day, and they said no, it's in Nano's hands, and it's saying because it was a mess up. I don't know if it was like directly like that, but they're not going to take. I don't think Sheriff Nanos would allow them to like fully take over, if you ask me. Just my opinion on that. Okay, I think I found the one. Let me find it here. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Right here. 1 second. There we go. And oops. And there we go. All right, here's that picture, guys. Introducing Pima County 911. That someone said Daphne has it. She might have sent it to me. I don't know. Daph put in her latest video. Okay. I'll pull it up in just a second.
People purporting to be involved in the crime, but really have no involvement whatsoever. It takes away an element of the evidence that the investigators can use to establish the integrity of somebody they may catch someday and determine the Bitcoin address. And now it's out there. So anybody could say, that's mine. And it's problematic. I'm troubled by it. I'm embarrassed by it, Ashley, having put my life's work into that organization. And it's just another example of poor leadership.
I'm curious about what that kind of a misstep does to the relationship between the Pima County Sheriff's homicide investigators and the FBI officers who are working on this case on this joint task force. I mean, I sort of feel like I wish I were a fly on the wall, but man, that really did thwart a lot of what the FBI is trying to do.
Well, there's a number of things that I think your viewers really don't understand with regard to the relationship with this police department and the FBI. And it really stems from its leader, Chris Nanos. A lot of folks don't know this, but back in 2016, we're talking 10 years ago, Chris was appointed as the sheriff. He didn't win the election, but somebody had to run the place.
He was appointed as the sheriff. You freaking loser, Nanos. Okay, we're going to go to Daph's right here. Let's look at this. This is my BFF, Daph's case files. Or is it? Yeah, case files. Sometimes I want to say crime files. Make sure you're subbed up to Daph. Case to the files. We talk about Nancy Guthrie like every day. We all thought A&T were the caretakers. Hey, Daily. Good to see you, babe. How you doing? How you doing, girl? I know why they didn't appoint him. Well, he got voted in.
Out of this house and go up this alleyway and make their way through to Nancy's house. Been the perpetrator. Look at this.
They challenged the public if you saw anything on these dates, and I actually did, but I didn't know until I looked at my calendar.
So you're saying if someone was going to an open house and wrote their name down who was suspicious, who had been there before, going in and out?
This. Yeah, I did.
And he was just suspicious. People were calling in saying, "Who is this guy?"
My neighbors.
Your neighbors were?
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't just some random.
Yeah, and so that's.
You're talking about this, where they did the open house and they had to sign in. Or Chewy. My mom and dad are trying to do next. Oh, really? Oh, you're not talking about this. Okay. Which one? This was her last video. Was it her last video? Is it an interview? Got that picture. That's not it? Okay. Which one is it then? It might be the one before that. Let's see here. Video. New detail. I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Hey there, internet friends. Welcome back to an all-new episode.
Oh, is this it right here?
Nancy's caregiver. Look at this.
Oh, here it is.
What's up, guys? We're out here selling security and cameras. Security and cameras, and so obviously you heard about the tragic shooting here. Yeah, so I was here probably like 2 months ago. So we set up some houses then. I just saw the news, and then I was like, I think I was in that neighborhood. Really? So yeah, we've had some people call to that we talked to before that weren't super into it. Yeah. And they reached back out. So.
Okay, so this is the Vivid security guy. Vivid, for those of you that don't know, is a security. It's like ADT like that?
I set up some of their houses, and now I'm just kind of talking to some other folks.
Yeah, I saw the ADT. We talked to them. They were out here.
The only difference is our cameras record 24 hours a day.
Okay.
And everything records even if the internet's out.
Oh, okay. Well, that works.
So a lot of the companies like Ring and ADT, they're not bad companies.
Yeah.
But they just rely on Wi-Fi. And
so what if somebody has like a cell phone jammer kind of thing? You guys would still go?
Cell phone. So there's an encryption.
Or like a jammer thing, you know, where they can jam the
So the Wi-Fi jammers.
Wi-Fi jammers, yeah.
Yeah, so there's an encryption in the tablet from Vivint.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, so we just make better and cooler stuff to solve problems that basic companies have.
Goes on to tell 857,
Vivint is a good company. That's what I have.
which is this is 857 Tucson's channel. If you are not familiar with him, go over and subscribe to his YouTube channel. So he goes on to say, this guy, he said that we have an encryption in our devices, our security cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And this makes it to where people cannot use the jammers, such as what we think happened with Nancy's.
But here's the thing with the jammers, though. Like, the jammers, it's really good to talk about, like, in theory and all of that, but jammers require a lot. Just like, you're not going, these people are not going, like Porch Guy here, that looks like, his, has got an IQ of, 50 on a good day. I just don't think he's going to have this jammer to take off the whole block. It's got to be pointing towards, and the thing that I still don't understand is, again, the neighbors behind Nancy, a few houses down, the one that had the dogs barking that night, they have wired cameras. You cannot jam a wired camera. You cannot. So why is 2 of their cameras not working that night? It's got to be something else. Unless it is just a freaking coincidence. If that's... things aren't just... No, they're not. They're not. If Porch Guy was at Nancy Guthrie's that evening of January 11th and possibly another day seen by a neighbor during the day, why wasn't he prepared to remove the front doorbell camera and something besides flowers? Some things in cases, it were just never going to make sense. Even after, charges are filed, they're convicted, we're just never going to have those answers. But I agree. Like, look at this dude right here. He's looking at the damn camera. This is the 11th. He is staring at this camera. Right? Now, this is a thumbnail. We don't think that they have video on the 11th. But even if they do, let's say he was messing with the doorbell on the 11th. Again, why would you hide or try to put flowers over it 3 weeks later? You know what I mean? Oh, he's definitely casing it out. Definitely casing it out. But again, the whole point of casing something out is to become familiar with it, right? Become familiar, what you need to look out for, what you're going to do. You're going to go here first, do this first, do that first. But, casing it out. Well, part of casing that out, when you're staring at a Ring doorbell, is either come with some spray paint or whatever. Smash the Ring doorbell, take it off, step on it, whatever. But regardless, him coming up to the Ring doorbell, even before you like spray paint it or smudge it or break it, they're still going to be able to see you. Checking camera sensitivity and emotion camera light sensors. Perhaps. Good, yeah. Hello, Joe. Good to see you. This is literally like the Agatha Christie novel where like all 8 people had motives and stuff. Yeah. Nana, that's why I love it here. So many perspectives and opinions. Thank you, Nana. Thank you, Brandy.
And her neighbor.
I really like everyone's perspective, even if I don't agree with it. And that is because when we really push these off with each other, I don't want everyone to just agree with me. I like people to test my theories, right? Because when you test it, if there becomes a roadblock, then we've got to move another avenue, right? And that only makes your theory stronger. Any audio from the cameras? Not that we're aware of. Not that we're aware of. Hey, Lane, good to see you, my dear. How you doing? Yeah, no one likes an echo chamber, right? Most cases keep a distance, typically smart ones anyways. Getting that close would imply an actual intent to act in the moment, I would think. Yes, Magic Star? Good point. So they look at her recordings and are like, we need a better mask. I don't know. Why take just that camera? I think the reason they took that camera is that's the way they were taking her out, in my opinion. But there's just a lot of weirdness here when you think about, again, why take just that camera? There's other cameras out back. There's cameras inside. Why smash that one light out back whenever there's all kinds of lights out back? Why come through one door and most likely leave in another? That's what gets me. These guys don't look professional. No, they're not professional. I mean, there are people that's more experienced, but a real professional is extremely rare for a real professional to do something like this. There is people, there's experienced robbers and kidnappers, but a real professional, that's like, we're talking government agencies and stuff. So,
okay, because people are saying that their cameras went off at a certain time the night she was taken. That's very interesting. Now listen to this.
I've not seen that. I've not seen that. Why do you think there's blood on the pool walkway handrail and her bedroom patio? Now, I've talked about this. I think Chris talks about it as well. The FBI was right there at the handrail where those couple steps are going up to the pond or the pool. There could be blood on it. I don't know. I've not seen anybody confirm that either way. But right after this, I've got some video that I want to show you guys. In my opinion, all of that was staging, Justin. You mean like the blood and stuff like that? I don't feel like there's. I think that like the door open and stuff could be staging like after the fact or whatever, but I don't think like the blood staged or anything like that. Tori, thank you so much, dear, for the sparkles. Appreciate you, my dear. Good to see you. I think the ones behind in are maybe more professional, in my opinion. They hired that goon that is the Porch Guy and maybe a few others. I do think, Yaya, that it is very, very possible that they could definitely be hired. Justin, do you think, I think you mean Savannah Guthrie has seemingly given up? My gosh, we can all see how much she adored her mother, like me. So it's so weird. I think she's disheartened. I think she's very disheartened. Who wouldn't be? You know, who wouldn't be after 7 months and all of this chaos and Sheriff Doofy, in my opinion, behaving the way that he's behaved. Just talking literally nonsense. I think she's disheartened. But, you know, she stands by her family. And I understand that. But, you know, this is one case that I will openly say I could truly, absolutely seeing it going anyway. And I know people hate to hear that, but it could go anyway. Thank you again, Tori. Thank you, love, for the flower. It smells wonderful. Thank you, lovey. In my opinion, it could go with family, friends, someone very, very close. It could go with someone who, you know, knew I think it's someone close, but it could be someone that's, you know, in Tucson area. You know what I mean? In my opinion, Savannah has nothing to do with it. I think her heart is I don't think Savannah has anything to do with it. No, I'm not saying that at all. She loves her family. But what I'm saying is, I also think that Savannah is going to support her family regardless, until if something would come out that family would be involved. I think it's too painful for her otherwise. It's a lot easier to get in clearly than get out clearly when a victim is involved. The whole person is the most unpredictable factor into the criminal. Yes, that is true. Not at all. Savannah has nothing to do with it. No. I think, you know, people's blame, you know, pushed at Cameron and Savannah, and it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Like, you're wasting your time, in my opinion, if you're blaming or think Savannah or Cameron, you know. Imagine it coming out that family isn't involved, and that could be very well the case, Sherry. And here's my thing. You know, I've always kind of been neutral on it, if you will, because I get the questions that point toward the family. I get it. You know, to me, it's nothing that any YouTuber has, you know, gone off the deep rails and made up or anything. It's the reason people point and have suspicions about the family is simply because of what law enforcement did to them and kept doing to them. And they're the last ones to see, and there's just a lot of craziness. So, and just statistically as well. Hey, Hobo, good to see you. You know, the last ones to see the family and all of that. And who does this to an 84-year-old woman? So, well, what do they expect? They're pulling stuff out of A&T's house. Exactly. Well, I mean, not only are they pulling stuff out of A&T's house, they're looking around their home. They're keeping their car longer than anyone else. They've got Celebrate, their crimes against children. So, I mean, you can't blame anyone for talking about that. You know, again, I don't think anyone should blame them, but there's a lot of questions. They searched many homes and garages in that neighborhood, though. Sure, I mean, I think they check, but I don't think that they were going in like they were with Annie and Tommaso's. I don't think that they were, you know, the way that they did Annie and Tommaso's. They weren't keeping other people's vehicles and all of that as well. But again, you know, I've always told you my problem with them. You know, I think the evening before is, you know, seemed a little bit weird. Just the way, you know, she was at dinner that evening. She was there quite a long time, in my opinion, till pretty late. There was this Uber. He takes her home. They say family takes her home. It's really him that takes her home. Then a few hours later, she's being taken out of that house. But, you know, more than that, it's, they kept going back to Annie and Tommaso's, and they would go, you know, do forensics over there at Annie and Tommaso's, and they would go straight back over to Nancy's. They would go from Nancy's and run straight back over there. If Annie and Tommaso, you know, they dropped Annie, or Tommaso dropped Nancy off, they was at home all evening. Their phones were there. There wasn't anything weird on their phones, you know, within that night and prior as well. And they can be seen at home all night, whether with video footage or telematics and all that. Why are you going in there with the Celebrite? Why are you going in the garage specifically? Why are you lighting this house up? You know what I mean? So that's my problem with it. It's not that I'm blaming them, but I understand why people question that. You know what I mean? I do. So there's that. PGH, thank you so much for gifting a pearl necklace, my dear. Really, really do appreciate you, my darlings. That's very sweet of you. You're very kind to me, PGH. Much love to you, my dear. Thank you, babes. If you received that, please make sure you give our PGH a big old thank you. Thank you again, my dear. Also, guys, consider becoming a member. Really do appreciate you guys being here. I seen they are having to do genealogy to narrow down the person that suspected. It's a Hail Mary. It's a Hail Mary if, you know, well, was it the hair or was it the one DNA that there was 4 people on, 4 DNA profiles? One DNA profile's hard, let alone 4. That's just never been done that I'm aware of on this caretaker of Nancy. If anyone has insight into this caretaker of Nancy, you know, did she?
I'll leave you with this. I think I saw you a little bit earlier. Were you driving around, or was that another guy?
I just got here, yep.
What do you do?
I started with you. We cover all kinds of, we've been covering the Nancy Guthrie case. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, we heard about that before we even got out here like 4 months ago. That's another thing people have talked about.
Yeah.
It's made our job a little
Listen
bit
to
easier,
this.
unfortunately, but
yeah.
He goes on to talk about Nancy Guthrie case, and he says, we heard about the case about 4 months ago. That's probably why he went out there, so he could sell some of his security systems.
as you can imagine.
So what is your opinion on the Nancy Guthrie? Do you think, have you looked into it at all, or you just kind of?
If you want to hear something crazy, I set up her caregiver.
What do you mean you set up a caregiver?
So I was in their neighborhood knocking, and just coincidentally, I knocked on her door.
I was in their neighborhood knocking.
You had a caregiver?
Yeah, so the lady was at the house every day.
Really?
Every day.
When was this?
I wonder if he's confused with another person. Like the Vivid guy. Nana, thank you so much for the party blowers. Appreciate you, my darling. Appreciate you very much. Thank you so much, my dear. Really, very kind of you, my dear. Thank you very much for the party blower. Let me check something right here. Let me do this. Let's see. Nope, it won't show it. It just shows that. Pretty sure. Whoops. Why is it doing that? Okay. Very sweet of you, my darlings. Yeah, I don't think it'll show it. Okay. Thank you very much, my dear. Very, very kind. Okay. Here we go. Yes, a lot of mistakes. I'm not accusing the caregiver of anything, but she would know stuff that's going on in the family. I agree. But, you know what has me questioning that is like, I'm wondering, is he getting something confused? Or what? You know what I mean? Because like, you know, a lot of people aren't invested in this case like we are. You know, they're doing their daily life and stuff like that, but we really follow it. Wicked, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate the silver star. Good to see you, my dear. How you doing? Really appreciate you, dear. Well, SG said that Auntie took wonderful care of her mom and her brother always protected her. Yes. How would we know there was a caregiver? Well, Annie and Tommaso was supposed to go over there every day. Oh my God, Lisa. A trophy cake. Thank you so much, my dear. That's amazing. No one's ever given me a trophy cake before. Thank you so much, my dear. It's very sweet of you. Thank you very, very much. Really do appreciate that. Thank you so much, honey. Trophy cake. Thank you, Miss Dolores. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You guys are really sweet. I need to spray. What is Joe doing? Leslie said I need to renew my membership so I can spray Joe. Joe, we have a spray bottle when Joe misbehaves in the chat for members so they can spray him. Love you, Miss Dolores. How you doing, Mama? Thank you so much. Appreciate you, babies. Really do. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Lisa and Miss Dolores. Appreciate you. And PGH for sending the clutch, my dear. Thank you, babies. Appreciate you guys. Very sweet. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for the support, my dear. Jacob, maybe you should be getting a place of your own. What's wrong? Why can't anyone nail down if she had a home health care? I'll tell you why. And it's simply because of the family. They won't say. Friends won't talk. You know, it shouldn't be bad. Shouldn't be a hard thing to say. Hey, did she, you know, have a home health aid, or did the family, Savannah, pay for someone? I just don't think she did. In my opinion. I think that she had a housekeeper. I think she might have had someone come in, occupational therapy, something like that, maybe 1 or 2 times a week. But I don't think this was like a home health caregiver, in my opinion. Right? But that's just my opinion. I'm wondering if Auntie did not go over there. I'm wondering if Auntie did not go over there every day. If she did have a caregiver, I don't know. They, according to allegedly Savannah, they went over there every day. Every day. Thank you again, PGH. Thank you, darling. That's very sweet of you. You're very kind to me, PGH. Really do appreciate you. If you receive that, make sure you give our PGH a big thank you again. It's very sweet to me. Much love to you. Really, thank you so much, PGH. Jacob Kelly gives great advice. Never get up. You're worth a lot. Absolutely. But if Auntie worked during the day, she would have someone to help her. It's very difficult, right? It's very difficult. And that's a good point. Very good point. If he works 5 days a week, she's, hawking her jewelry and her poetry, and she's got things to do and being a mom as well. I actually don't believe they were there every day. I don't either. You're welcome, Justin. Gotta grow the Pearl family. Thank you very much. I appreciate you very much, my dear. I have never seen anything about regular hairdresser, whether she came to the house. I think Nancy probably went and got her hair did.
He said that he set up cameras for this particular caregiver of Nancy's. And this lady told this man that she was at Nancy's house every day. Every day.
When did I set them up?
Or when did you meet her caregiver?
Probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago.
And the lady lived there?
Yeah, she lives in Tucson.
Okay.
She knows
I mean, he could be right, but I wonder if he's just getting something confused.
the family.
She lives in Tucson, and he met her about a month and a half ago. In the beginning of the video, he says he was in the neighborhood about 2 months prior.
Me too, Clippy. Exactly. That's what I want to know. That's exactly. I've got a lot of pictures of like Annie and them going on trips and all of that. It's very stressful when you are taking care of someone whose health is very bad or declining and they need extra care, and you're on a trip. It's very stressful. So, someone's, but also maybe Nancy didn't need care. Maybe her friends just came over and checked on her. She had a lot of friends, right? And that matters as well. Nancy could hardly walk, so she obviously needed help. Did you see what I showed earlier, Ratui, though? This was in one of the articles. Look at this. And again, I don't know if they misreported it. I'm not saying they did. We'll come right back to this. I just want to show Ratui this. And I'm not saying, but even in her 80s, this was her friend that said this. She insisted on walking to the end of her gravel driveway to get the mail. So which is it? Could she not make it to the mailbox? Or she insisted to get exercise? Which one is it? Because to me, I remember a neighbor said that he saw Nancy walk to the mailbox. Again, it could be misreported. But this, I think this was in Parade magazine. I showed it earlier. Is it important? It is important to note that the ransom writer was confident they would remain anonymous not once, but each time media was contacted, they had to use the Onion router to do it. That was in Beerson or whatever. I think that's the caregiver that got the security installed. Early on, neighbor said that. Most days she couldn't make it to mailbox. So that's what Annie said. So why are they? Which one is it? That's the most frustrating thing about this case. Like, there's just one will report this and the other one will report literally the exact opposite.
But yeah, it's kind of wild. I guess the most I can say is she doesn't think it was anybody random.
So you talked to her after the fact?
Oh yeah, we set up their house with cameras and security.
Yeah.
They had ADT actually before, but
so if they would have had yours, there wouldn't have been any issues, you know?
No, I mean, you
Why
can't
did
really
Nancy have
prevent. You can't really prevent anything. Like,
yeah, really.
But there's a point where the best thing you could have is what you should have.
Yeah.
Because it's like you get something after something happens. It's like crashing your car and then putting the seatbelt on.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't really
It's
make too much sense,
95 feet
but
away.
Yeah, this is my number. So let me just
The mailbox is like 95 feet away.
explain this one more time. So you were in Nancy Guthrie's in January, let's say, because that's you got kidnapped.
So I wasn't at that house.
You were at her caregiver's
I was at her
house.
caregiver's home.
Okay, and so she just said, "Hey, I work for Nancy Guthrie."
Well, so I actually brought it up because when we talk about our tablet, Vivint doesn't call the phone automatically as like the first line of contact.
Yeah.
If there's an emergency, what Vivint does is we actually built in like an OnStar-like feature into the tablet. So if there's like an invasion into the house, our monitoring teams pick up into your panel through the home via audio.
Okay.
So we're able to talk to them. So basically, all I told them, I was like, "Hey, I'm sure you."
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Because like my alarm has went off before, and like Vivint will come through the box and they'll be like, "Hey, is everything okay?" And you'll be like, "Yeah," and they'll say, "Give you the password," and you give them the password. And if you can't give them the password or the secret question or whatever, then you're getting the cops sent to you. So they do talk to you through your box, and it is being recorded. But I just can't imagine Nancy not having like a security system at her age and all of that. You know, one thing, like, I'm not trying to be hard on Savannah or Annie here, but you just think that they would be set up. They would have set her up better with that stuff. It depends. My mom, for example, was severe back issues. Some days she could walk fast as others. She's in severe pain. It depends, but on gravel, no way. Not fast outside, inside, home. It depends. But you know, some people, you know, regardless, they're gonna push their self for movement, right? It is so important to stay moving. The older you get, it is the law of physics. A body in motion stays in motion, right? I have the app on my phone so I can see all the comings and goings through my house and streets. Same. Yes. Did she have a life alert? No, she didn't. Nope. You have sensible judgment, Justin. No nonsense. Savannah Guthrie and Cameron have absolutely nothing to do with it. It's ridiculous for people to say that. You know, thank you. I appreciate that. But one second. But I appreciate that. Like, I'm not going to say anybody did this. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to say that because I truly have no idea. You know, when the missing children's cases that I cover and stuff, you generally have a pretty good idea. You know, Summer Wells got a good idea, in my opinion. Jack and Lily, really good idea. Sebastian Rogers, really good idea, in my opinion. But in this case, it's you just don't know. You know, I question things about A&T, but again, I don't know. It could truly go any way. I don't like my family anymore. That's all. Oh, you gotta love your family, Jacob. You may not like some of the things they do, but you love them. Love them through it. Meet them where they are. They need to meet you where you're at too. That's what doesn't make sense. Why have security cameras but have no subscription? I have to believe the authorities have more video footage than, I don't know. But taking an 84-year-old is really odd. It is. It's very, very odd. And it can only be a few things. You know, someone's got a grievance. They know something. Or there's a financial element. I feel the same way you do, Justin. It could be anyone, but I do lean towards some certain suspect. Well, you know, I just ask the questions, and I can truly see it in going anyway. You know, how long would it take Nancy to get her mailbox to? I don't know. All I know is it's 95 feet away from her home. How long would it take her to get to her garage, generally speaking? You know, it probably depends on the day too, you know, however she feels that day. You know what I mean? Some days it takes me longer to mow the yard than it does others, right? If A&T didn't have anything to do with it, don't you know how much they are thinking hindsight is 2020? I was changing my theory daily before, but now I am pretty sure it's the inner circle. It's at least a complicit answer. All Nest cameras have audio. Yeah, I mean, hers was a very older Nest, if you will. Widow, thank you, baby. Good to see you. Are you going to do a call-in show tomorrow night on Clancy? Absolutely, we'll do a call-in show. Absolutely. I have something to say. Absolutely. I really want to hear your guys' thoughts on the Clancy Travis Decker thing, because you might convince me otherwise, but I don't see why people are giving her this free ride and Travis Decker, you know, they were burning at the stakes, and I understand why they were burning him at the stakes, but I don't understand the same thing is not going for Lindsay. So yeah. I'm going to need like 30 minutes. Let's go, girl. Let's go, girl. That's going to be an interesting call-in show. Yeah. Well, you know, people feel really passionate of one way or the other, and that's fine. That's fine. I like the passion. I like the passion. I agree it's hypocritical. Yeah. Well, not only that, I'm ready to give, and I'm so upset right now. Oh, I'm sorry, Widow. You know, did they come up with a verdict yet? Let me see here. Did the verdict come back yet? Nope, without a verdict. Okay. I just looked. You know, and she also put 2 of her babies face down while she was strangling them as well. And that tells me, in my opinion, you know what you're doing. People who generally unalive someone they love or care about, they don't want to look at them in the face while they're doing it, or when they're transporting their remains, they put a bag or a blanket and stuff over them because they don't want to look at them, because it brings up obviously an emotion. I've not watched the entire case, like, you know, from the beginning to like every single day, you know what I mean? But I covered this case when it happened years ago, as well. So when it wasn't popular, like, it was in the media, but it wasn't like it is now. Once it became the trial hit, it just blew up. MVP, how you doing, Rescue Dog Mama? Thank you so much, my dear. I really do appreciate you very much. But no, I don't give Lindsay Clancy any more sympathy than I do Travis Decker. As someone who someone who has a grudge against Savannah. I don't think it's necessarily a grudge against Savannah. She chased Dawson. Yep. Savannah being Nancy's daughter was no coincidence. The goal was to hurt Savannah. If it was truly a ransom, the note would have waited for the deadline to get the Bitcoin. Well, they could still get paid, but they, didn't reply back. 1 second. Okay. 1 second. I just got something on a case that I've been covering. 1 second. Very interesting. Okay. They sent jurors home for the weekend. They sent the jurors home this weekend. The Nancy Clancy. Nancy. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. I keep saying Nancy Clancy. It's not Nancy Clancy. I'm talking about Nancy. And we're also talking about Clancy. They sent jurors home today in the Lindsay Clancy case. They didn't sequester them. I'm sorry, guys. I shouldn't laugh. I don't know. The name Nancy Clancy to me is funny. I'm kind of immature, though, sometimes, so I fully embrace it. I respect people who think she should go to jail. I just can't stomach when people say she shouldn't have had a trial. And oh no, no! Listen, every day, everybody has their right to a trial. This is America. It's America, and you are innocent in the eyes of the law until a judge or jury has made the judgment, right? But in Lindsay's case, I don't think the argument is she didn't do this, right? Mental illness is real. It is real. It sure is. Mental illness is absolutely real. But regardless, to me, it's not. For me, it's not the fact that she's could be mentally ill at the time, or that Travis Decker could be mentally ill at the time. For me, it's the fact that they're dead. You did it at your hand. You Googled things prior. It didn't stop at one child. You sent your husband away to CVS or Walgreens or wherever it was, pharmacy. Regardless, she could have been and was hopped up on, like I said, drugs from the doctor and unalived the kids people are hopped up on drugs all the time, street drugs, and unalive people. 2-minute window open and closed garage when can't walk is suspicious. I would, when it comes to Nancy Guthrie case, I would love to have the video of the Uber. Love to have it. So, I just think that there is a different standard that we are seeking in Lindsay's case versus Travis Decker. Right. I mean, look at this. Let me see if I can get this. These kids gone, right? Lindsay Clancy, Travis Decker, gone. Gone. She did research on it. Oh yeah, she did. Same thing as Decker. He planned it. He absolutely planned it. I think they don't give at the time. She knew she did it, but I think she should go. She knew she did it, but I think she should go down alone. And this is the thing, Lindsay, she, jumped out of a window, because she, supposedly wanted to end it her own self, right? I wish it wouldn't have happened to the kids. And people unalive, I have to be careful with my words on here. People unalive family members all the time, and then they try to they do unalive themselves. Right? I wonder if it was an Uber that dropped her off, that someone got another car. No, it wasn't. And when her talking about Nancy Guthrie case, it was Tommaso that brought her back. Well, I agree, Magic Star. I agree, right? To me, like, if she was really out of it at the time, and you didn't know, what you were doing was wrong to your 3 kids, Googling about, putting a band around these 3 innocent children's necks, chasing one and putting 2 on their face, while you're literally snuffing the life out of them. But then you try to do it to yourself after you do all 3. You of the kids. I don't buy it. Right. Thank you for voicing your opinion, Kathy. Y'all are gross. A plumber 6 months later is no concern. You know what you can do, Kathy? You can kiss my plumber is what you can do. How about that, Kathy? Why don't you kiss my plumber? How about that? Why don't you listen to what we were talking about in the beginning? How about that, Kathy? She had minimal meds in her system at the hospital. Yeah. Oh, listen. I've watched the doctors talk about on the stand and all that, and I think some of the doctors, I don't like the video over the video that they did with her and stuff, but you might have a different opinion on me on this, widow. I think that's what you mean by that. But for me, again, it's not that, she could be, mentally, as crazy as a bed bug, as we say, in the South. That doesn't change it for me. It doesn't. I'm going to make my points tomorrow. I've got my notes and stuff. For me, that doesn't change the fact that you stopped 3 people's lives, whether it was legal drugs, illegal drugs, crazy as a bed bug, sane, as a judge. The fact for me is they are gone forever. There is no getting it back. There was, and again, Travis Decker, almost identical. He was going through mental health things too. Went to doctors. Doctors failed him. Doctors, in my opinion, failed Travis Decker way more than they did Lindsay Clancy. He was a veteran and all that. The point for me is they're gone forever. It was done. And you go to prison. Right? Crazy as a bed bug equals insanity defense. Yeah. A lot of people said that tonight. Like, you should only get an ad every 20 minutes, about 18 to 20 minutes. But if they're doing that more, then I don't know why. She had another option. She had other options, like she could have the husband watch children and she got dinner. Yeah. Yep, I think, but it should be a very good live tomorrow. It should be a lot of passion, which is great. And listen, you might convince me that I'm seeing it wrong. You might convince me. I am always open. I'm not someone that's going to just, put my heels in the ground and say, someone's wrong. But there, in my opinion, after I covered this case, when it happened, go to my J for A channel. I covered it whenever hardly anybody was talking about it. I've watched most of the trial, and I covered Travis Decker very extensively as well. And there is a double standard. And I'll talk more about that tomorrow. How about the case where the father took his kids to and stepdaughter ran to the fire station? I'm not sure about that, Carol. It's personality disorder, not postpartum. It really pisses me off that these who truly experience it, I believe she's faking all of it. I do too. I mean, listen, you know, I think we've all felt. Never mind. I can't say it on here. I can't say it on here. If I was on Kick, I'd say it, but I can't say it on here. But you know, we've all felt like we've, you know, been crazy at times or whatever, you know, depressed. And, you know, I think there's been in times in all of our lives, if you've lived long enough, where you didn't care whether you lived or died. But I think there was something more going on with her. Chad Doberman. Yep. Good point. Hey, Sugar. Good point. Very sad case, man. Very sad case as well. So, but yeah, we'll take calls tomorrow, and we'll see. We'll see. Listen, anyone that thinks they can commit red room has got to be some form of insane and psychopath. So I get it. Psychopaths and serial unalivers don't get to go to mental hospital. I don't think I just don't think, yeah. She's those kids didn't even start their life. Didn't even start their life. It's fucked up. I don't think I feel like, you know, I don't think their relationship was very good. And I think Lindsay was acting on a lot of that as well. And I think that, you know, I think sometimes you can be unhappy in a relationship as well, or unhappy in your life, and you take things, whether that's legal or illegal, and you try to mask it, and it's not working quick enough. Some things, especially with like antidepressants and stuff. And listen, there is no pill that'll take it all away. There is no pill that will take all the stress away, all the pain away, all the anxiety away. There's not. Didn't Banfield say that she used to live in the same area as Lindsay Clancy? Probably. I don't know. Ashley lived all around. She's from Canada, though, originally. It does require intentional work, right? So, no, but weed helps. Hey, whatever works for you, you know. But given all the meds and knowing what I know about pharmacological, I could think both can be true. Either way, she's never going to be let out for a long time. Absolutely. Listen, I'll tell you a personal story about me. I took, or I take, now I take a very, very, very low dose of it. But when I was going through my Lyme's disease, when I was in the heart of it, they gave me Effexor. And Effexor, you know, when you're in with Lyme's, it actively works on your brain, your nervous system. And they gave me Effexor. Effexor is a antidepressant. It's a very old antidepressant, but it is the most, I'm not a doctor, do your own research, form your own opinion, talk to your real doctor, but it is very well known to be very, very, very difficult to come off of. Now I take, I think 50 milligrams, no more than 75 milligrams, but I used to take a few hundred milligrams of it. And I was taking it more, for the mental when I was dealing with Lyme's, but it also helps with the kind of like nerve pain. I was having burning in my feet and stuff, and I didn't want to take the Neurontin and all that stuff that they give you. So they gave me this, and my Lyme's got better and all this, so on and so forth. So I told my doctor, I'm not depressed or anything, and I just need to, kind of come down with it. I don't like I need it anymore. So then I went from whatever I went, and then I went to like 150, and then on down. And it was around like New Year's a couple years ago when I was dealing with this, and the pharmacy was closed, and I was without it 2 days. And I started getting brain zaps, like brain zaps, and feeling very, very, very depressed, just a sense of doom and gloom. And I'm a pretty upbeat person. You guys know that. I'm pretty bubbly. I don't shut up, And so, like, I get it. Like, medicine can mess with you and everyone differently. Regardless, if you unalive someone, whether I wasn't taking my medicine or I was taking too much or I was doing, a street rug, which I've never done a street rug other than in my entire life. If I do something to a person and unalive them, you need to go to jail. I don't give a fuck if I wasn't taking my medicine or not. Yeah. They call it side effects, sir. Yeah. You're right. So, I still take like 50 or 75 milligrams of it daily because I've went down to there, and I just don't want the brain zap, so I still take it every single day and have for several years now. 3-4 years. So yeah. I had that with Zoloft in the year 2000, and Pfizer had no idea what I was talking about when I called them. Oh yeah, I've read that Zoloft can do terrible things to the. Well, I mean, I don't know. Yes, if I miss my dose every 24 hours, I get brain zaps. It's look at all of the Google just the antidepressants and which ones are the hardest to get off of. Vexer is the hardest. I think the easiest is again, I'm not a doctor, doing research, all that stuff. Prozac is the easiest to get off of because it has a very, very long half-life. Prozac, I think, lasts in your system once you get a good dose load, like 3 weeks in your system. So it kind of, gets out of your system slowly. Keep those neurons reproducing just so well. Yeah. The medication that you had that make you stop smoking literally made people jump up buildings and stuff. It can, with everything in life. Everything. It doesn't matter if it's a pill or what it is. there is a side effect to everything that we do. It doesn't matter if we take a pill or if I, push my camera off. I push, it's going to fall off. So, laws of the universe. Brain zaps are terrifying. I was prescribed antidepressants after a major surgery because I was so depressed at the slow recovery. I stopped taking it and was, when I was fully recovered, not a good idea. Yeah. Wellbutrin. Yeah, Wellbutrin, a lot of people takes that for, it works different than most of the others. A side effect of Prozac is self-deletion. They're with all of them. Yeah. I also like Cymbalta, less side effects and no weight gain. It's a mood saver. Yeah, Cymbalta and Effexor are cousins. And they were kind of similar. I still take like 50 or 75 milligrams Farm Gal. Still yet today. And that's pretty much just to avoid brain zaps. All right, guys. I'm going to end it for here. I'm so thankful that my internet worked. It's been a rough couple days. It's hard to decide to take them. Harder to decide to not. Yeah. Really, Brandy? I decided to quit taking my Cymbalta once. Not a good idea. BP went sky high. Went to the ER. Thought it was having a heart attack. Yeah. You take it too? Yeah, mine did too. Thank you, Giggle. Thank you. Night, Brittany. All right, guys. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, really do appreciate you. Please hit that thumbs up button and double tap that screen. Don't forget to hype this video after it's ended, and comment down below in the comment section after the live stream ends. Just say hey or something like that. Thank you, Inspecting. Appreciate you, hon. I'm paid up until September 11th on the other channel. Thank you, my dear. I'm paid up with you until September 11th on the... What other channel, baby? Which other channel? My J Frey? Thank you, my dear. Appreciate you, Summers. Summer Breeze, thank you. I'm glad your internet worked. Yeah, me too. It's crazy. All right. It's Friday, thank God. Enjoy your night, the rest of the night or morning, wherever you are, and take good care of yourselves. You only get so many trips around the sun. Love you guys. Good night. God bless.